Alright, this is a video on one-step inequalities. The first thing we need to know is what signs are inequalities. This is less than, which makes this one greater than. And then we have a less than or equal to. And then we have a greater than or equal to. So we're going to view one-step inequalities knowing that these are the signs that we are going to use. So my first problem is going to be 2y is less than 15. Just like with regular equations, what we're going to do is get y by itself. So this means when these two are touching, it means they're married or multiplied together. The opposite of marriage or multiplication is divorce. So in order to get 2y by itself, I need to divide both sides by 2. When I divide 2 by 2, it's just going to leave me with 1y, or y. I'm going to bring down the less than sign. And 15 divided by 2 is going to give me a regular 15 divided by 2. It can't be brought down any further. So what I can do is create it and go, well, I know that 2 times something will get me close to 15. So I know that this is going to be 7. 2 times 7 is 14. And I have 1 left over to get to 15. There'll be another video about how to translate this into this. So how I'm going to graph it is I'm going to draw my number line. I'm going to put 7, 8, 9, and 10. So what's going to happen here is I know that this tells me that it's an open circle. Less than or greater than will always be an open circle because the number is not included. So I'm going to put an open circle in 7. And a half. Sorry. 7 and a half, because 7 and a half is between 7 and 8. So I'm going to put my open circle right between 7 and 8, because it is y is less than 7 and a half. So I know that it's going to shade to the left because it's less than. So y has to be less than 7 and a half in order for it to work. So now we're going to do a second problem, and it is going to be y plus 9 is less than or equal to negative 6. Just like with a regular problem, I need to get y by itself. So I need to get rid of this 9. The opposite of addition is subtraction. So I'm going to subtract 9 from both sides in order to make it even. 9 minus 9 cancels, and I'm left with y is less than or equal to. I know the rule for subtraction is keep, change, so I'm going to add negative 6 plus negative 9, and this will give me negative 15. Now I'm going to graph it. I'm going to put negative 15 in the middle. And I know that my circle is going to be on 15 because y has to be less than or equal to 15. Now, since it's or equal to, I'm going to put a closed circle on 15 because this tells me that negative 15 is included. And it's going to be less than, so it's going to shade to the left. The next problem we're going to be dealing with is 12 is greater than or equal to w plus 7. You can try this by yourself and pause the video at this time if you want to try it, but here we go. Need to get the w by itself. I'm going to do the opposite of addition, which is subtraction. So I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides to keep it consistently even. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So these 7s cancel, I am left with on the right W. I need to bring down my greater than or equal to sign. And 12 minus 7 is what? 5. Okay. How I'm going to graph this? Same way, using the same number line. It is going to be an open circle, a closed circle, because it is greater than or equal to. So that number is also included on 5. And the arrow is now going to point to the right. The last problem I will be dealing with, it'll be one of our special equations. Okay, our special cases. Y, negative 5y, is greater than 20. Again, what I'm going to do is these two are touching or next to each other, so this means multiplication, or they're married. The opposite of marriage is divorce, or the opposite of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 5. Make sure that you carry the negative with it, because it's just an extra step, and you'll have to divide by negative 1. So we want to make sure we always carry the negative with it. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 5. Here's where it happens. These cancel. I'm going to bring the y down. Now this inequality sign, greater than, is going to change to less than. The reason why you will see in just 2 seconds. So 20, a negative divided by a positive, will give me a negative, and 20 divided by 5 is 4. So I'm going to draw my sign. It is going to have an open circle because it's less than, it's not equal to, a negative 4. And I'm going to shade it to the left. Now, the reason why you have to change the sign is, look, if I wanted to change or put a number in for y, so if I kept the sign the same, so let's do negative 5 times negative 2. Okay, let's assume that we want to do this and keep the signs. A negative times a negative will give me a positive, which will give me a positive 10. And 10 is not greater than 20. That is why we flip the signs. We need to make it true. But if we flip, so when we flip the sign, we'll do the same problem. Alright, because look, we flip the sign. So 5 times 10. This is why it's true. Look, 10 is less than 20. Alright, if I have $10, I don't have $20.